to start off our morning dhamma sharing. It's about our theme, the 7 underlying akusala tendencies, Anusaya. So I'm going to quote the sutta, Anusaya Sutta, Anusaya 7, where there is a very short synopsis about this Anusaya. Okay, 7 point. Then you can see the difference. Now all these are related to the akusalas. Right? In one sutta, Buddha says, abandon what is not skillful. Akusalas, abandon. One can abandon what is unskillful. He says that it is possible. Have you heard that? Have you ever heard that there are people who are saying that it is very difficult to overcome akusalas at home? So that is going to be a lame excuse to this one. You can, if you know the mechanism, you can. But if you don't know, you won't have an idea of how to overcome akusalas. That means we have to know the mechanism how to overcome akusalas. And he further says, if it were not possible, I would not ask you to do it. So, Anguttara Nikaya 2.9. I think there are participants who might not know about these Pali terms. Akusala. How many are there any who have understanding about akusalas? What is akusala? For those who are attending for the first time, do you know what akusala means? You have no idea. Others? How about you? No idea at all. No. And in the back? 3. Others? Who know what is akusala? Raise your hand. Right. Even you? No idea. How are you? Oh, most of you. So we cannot go deeper now without understanding what is akusala. Let's discuss about it. Okay. Akusala. You can see it. Akusala. What is this? This is what we call as hindrances that are really bothering us to become good human beings. So we are going to overcome akusalas. How many akusalas are there? 5. I think I had learned from you. What are they? What are those 5 akusalas? Are you referring to sensual desire? And then? Ill will. Sloth and restlessness and remorse, and then doubts. Are these akusalas? They are hindrances to the meditation. They can become akusala at a certain, but they are mainly, we call them hindrances. Hindrance. Nivarana. Or avarana. Nivarana or avarana. Nivarana means this is the truth, but these 5 come in the middle, so I cannot see what it is. So these 5 come in the middle, I cannot see what this is. No, Nivarana, Avarana. Covering. They are covering the reality, covering the truth. Yeah. The Buddha uses these two words. I'm saying. Let me write it.
Sorry, I'm illiterate.
Nivarana is the famous word. Then Avarana. Both are used at the same time. Nivarana and Avarana, they both are covering the reality. So I cannot see what it is. I only see sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, victory. I only see these five, but not the truth. But I was asking, akusala. Okay, what is akusala? Now, normally we translate this to be unskillful activities. Or you could say unwholesome activities, right? So, 5. Did someone say any other number? 10. You nailed the number. 10. Yes. Then tell me what they are. Yeah. Actually, there are 10 major akusalas. 10 major. From them, other akusalas, small one, arise. So now, in meditation, in life, we are going to get rid of akusalas. Another version of akusala is these 5. But they are different versions. But there are main 10 akusalas. It's like a main company and sister company. Right? How do you do that? Let's say there's a main company, very big company. Then there are other subsidiaries companies, sister companies. Right? So akusala is the main one. These are subsidiaries, small ones, regarding different contexts. Now these are given for jhanas. If you want to attain jhana, you have to remove these 5 which come from these 10. Now let's identify these 10. What are they? Huh? I have my students over here, so they have no excuse. I've been teaching them a lot. Huh? Killing. Killing. Stealing. Sexual misconduct. These are for the body. These akusalas we do from the body. Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Then false speech. Then slanderous speech. Slandering. Slander. What is slandering? Slandering, we call them divisive speech. What is happening with this is finally you are dividing people. You talk something to somebody and then change that, and then talk to somebody the same thing differently. And then those two people are in trouble at the end. I think a lot of people do that. Willingly and unwillingly, we have to understand what this is. Then third one, 6. Harsh. 4. Like this here. Gossiping. Possibly can add also idle check. Okay, these four speech. These four for the speech, mouth. We doing these four akusalas from the mouth. Then last three. Covetousness. What is covetousness? Strong greed. Right? Strong greed. We will explain it. Then ninth one. Ill will. Then last wrong will. Is free from the mind. Is it clear? Very clear.
Yes.
Right. So are you going to let me explain again? I don't think. You should be fast learners. Three from the body, four from the speech, three from the mind. Now the Buddha says, this is the worst akusala. Out of these 10 akusalas, this is the worst akusala. Why is it?
Because it controls the mind. If you have wrong view, it's more on everything you think to be wrong.
We are affected, when we are affected by wrong view, only we kill, we steal, we sexually misconduct, we force speech, slander, hurt other people, gossip, overly greedy, and bringing ill will, because we have the wrong view about us, other people, and event situation. So we must bring the opposite of this. Rest will be overcome overnight. Now there are people who don't think about this, how not to kill, how not to steal, how not to sexually misbehave. They are not looking at the problem. Problem is michadi. Bring samadhi. You will never do any of these things. Right? Michadi. Wrong view. Why is wrong view the worst? Samadhi is the best. From Samadhi we start our dhamma journey. How do I say so? Noble Eightfold Path. In the Noble Eightfold Path, there are 8. This is our dhamma journey. Everybody's dhamma journey should start from right view, call it samadhi, right thought or thoughts or intentions, then right speech, right action, right living, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Alright, right view. We are starting from right view. That means the opposite of this. Our Dhamma journey must have started, should have started from right view. How did you start your Dhamma journey? Can I know? Do you have a spiritual journey? Buddhist spiritual journey? My spiritual journey, my spiritual path. I have been doing this, that, I've been doing here, there. I've been participating. They are talking, right? About their Dhamma journey. So where did you start your Dhamma journey? From which practice? We are supposed to have started. But what has happened with you? We have started from different topsy-turvy practices. Maybe different practices. There are Buddhist so-called cults. Not Buddhist, so-called cults. So we must have started from right view. This is the opposite of this. Then everything will be okay. Your Dhamma journey is consistent, seamless, then growing flourishing, thriving, everything will happen. And then when you have right view, then all the rest of the path factors are inevitable. They are happening naturally. Very peaceful they are. Otherwise, there are people who don't start from here as well. They cherry pick this one. Mindfulness, they cherry pick this one. So, their mindfulness does not have the base of right view. Why do I want to be mindful? Because of this. So, going back to our, otherwise this will be extended to other areas. So, I just want to narrow down to this part. Because we are going to discuss about Anusaya. The plan is Anusaya. Right? Anusaya. We call them dormant. Dormant or underlying akusala state. You could say dormant, underlying, sleeping, whatever. We are learning this to go there. That's why we are studying this. Now, these akusala states are akusala activities that happen by effort for the most part. Let's say when we have wrong view, miccāditthi, then we may kill, steal, and all these things will happen. Right? I think let's identify these again in a proper way. Killing means pānāti pāta. What is killing? Can you know? Killing? Killing means you are going to. I'm going to raise this part. Maybe you understand this. Pānāti pāta. How do we understand this Pali word? Pāna, ati, pāta. This is how we're going to break down, separate. Pāna means life. Life of a sentient being. Life of a sentient being. Then, pāta means pāta. I think you don't know what Pali, right? Pāta means drop, fall down. Drop or fall, pāta, drop. This is going to drop. The life of the sentient being going to drop. That means you are causing someone's life to drop, to fall down. You are causing that. That is how this is going to happen. Killing. Right? You are causing someone's life, any sentient being's life to drop. Right? Killing. Atipat. Ati is a prefix. Stealing. Adinnada. Right? Adinnada. Dinna means given. Dinna means given. Given item. Someone has given you a gift. But now here, adinnada. A. Ungiven item. Ungiven gift. Right? They have not given to you that particular item. That means, by implied sense, we are going to take it. Right? Stealing. What are the famous ways of stealing in today's world? Scams. You get some calls. When you are at home, they are finding you in whatever it is. They are finding everybody who is in that cupboard. One day there was a monk who came to Canada, to Ottawa. He got a scam from Canada. And he was asking how the scammers found him. I said because they are targeting everybody who is getting the roaming network with that particular tower next to our place. So they have access to the tower, the data tower, signal tower. Anybody who has a phone with that covering, because his SIM card was roamed now into a Canadian network. So they are all approaching. So scammers can approach us and yeah. But scammers are trying, but you are the one who is giving them the chance to steal them. If you are careful, then you are good. What are the other ways of stealing? Copyright infringement. Copyright infringement. It is happening in today's world. Copy, paste, and then say this is mine. Right? People do that, right? Sometimes it can be a song, it can be a movie, it can be a text. It is a adinna. Maybe you are using a certain software without the proper registration key. Right? It is a adinna aspect. Maybe you don't have access to a certain residence, but you are using other people's car parking card. Oh, these are could be adinna, because you are going to be honest to yourself. Right? So then you are not going to steal. Sexual misconduct. So this means we are never going to drop anyone's life down. Okay. We are never going to take what is not given to us. Honestly. Sexual misconduct. You are going to step over to other people's relationship. That is one. Let's say there is a 4-year relationship going on, marriage or maybe unmarried couple. You are thinking, I am going to take somebody away from this relationship. You are stealing the wife of that husband of that wife. It is a part of stealing also. Then it is one. It is a stealing on one aspect. It is a stealing. On the other hand, you are sexually misconducting. And but there is a sexual conduct. The Buddha approves for the people. That is okay, but this is called sexual misconduct. In Pali we call it miccāchāra. Miccāchāra. This is wrong. But sammāchāra is good. You are sexually behaving with the person. You are not cheating. You have lots of respect. And then musāvāda, false speech, lying. Do we have liars in today's world more than before?
Yes.
Lies. People lie for different reasons. Right? So, lying is a big issue. But we are supposed to speak the truth all the time. It depends on the context. Sometimes when we speak the truth, there may be some other issues that can happen, right? You speak the truth. As a consequence of that truth, other people are fighting each other. Something can happen. So you delay that truth. Not today, maybe another day. Because I think if I speak the truth now, they are clashing each other. Wisely thinking, what will happen? At that point, you might. Are you supposed to lie? No. We can do other things. We can change the topic. Yeah, change the topic because our intention is good. We are not talking that topic. Because sometimes when you sit down with people, you have an option to talk what is good. So you are going to think about what is to be discussed with these people. Or we are going to maybe walk away. We can do smart things. Sometimes when people are not smart enough, they do more akusala. They are smart in practicing. So
We can also give them a drink.
Drink with the purpose of?
Yeah, instead of continue talking, we get them a drink.
You will sort of divert the.
Change the mindset.
You have to say, what drink is that? Is it water? Is it water or tea or coffee? Warm water. Yes. Good. Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah, good. It's like the Zen story. There is a Zen story where two people are going to making to a sword fight. Right? They are going to be in a fight. So then one person is thinking in the last minute, I think I should better not fight with this person. I go back and make a good milk tea. So he went back, he prepared a milk tea. And then he said, okay, before the sword fight, please have this tea. And the fight was over at that point. Same thing. It's a Zen story. Some cool Zen stories to learn. Right? Anyways, for false speech, that means we are always trying to be truthful, but when we are going to speak the truth, we should understand how to speak, what is the good time to talk. But let's say we are walking away, but one day we have to tell them, this is why I did not tell you that particular thing. Then we are going to the slandering part. Slandering, why people are slandering? They are jealous. Maybe they are jealous. Mostly they are jealous of other people. When they are jealous of other people, they are going to, pass two stories to two people. Right? Yeah, ego, it comes from wrong view. Ego is a psychological word, Sigmund Freud word, which has roots of wrong view.
But they slander because they were wanted to be seen as better than Buddha. So
yeah, wrong view. In Buddhism, we don't call ego. Ego is a psychological word from Sigmund Freud, early, middle-age psychologist, psychoanalyst. Because Devadatta had wrong view. He thought he could kill the Buddha and he would become the Buddha. Right? So he had wrong.
Because he wants people to think he's better than Buddha.
Yeah,
So I thought there was like a little bit of this ego that he needs to.
In Pali, in Buddhist teachings, we call it wrong view. Now we have to learn all these things from Buddhist context. Wrong view. That's why I said we have to fix this one first with the samadhi. Like if you have the wrong view, yes, ego is a part of it. If you have the samadhi, right view, everything is okay. So people, they are getting to slander, it is because of definitely wrong view. All these are happening because of wrong view. But if you look at slandering a little bit more, you can see how people do that. Let's say they are very friendly with you, but they are very much praising you. But behind the scene, they are going to bad mouth about you. Sometimes there are people who we don't know also. They are going to bad mouth us. We know from somebody. Has that happened to you?
Yeah.
They don't know you, but they bad mouth about you somewhere. Then you get to hear from somebody. Maybe there are people who are telling that others bad mouth about you, but actually this is the one who is bad. He is the bad man. He is trying to make a conflict between we and us and that particular person. Be very careful. Just because people are telling us, we don't have to accept. We have to do our own search. There are different types of bad mouth. Then harsh speech means hurting other people. This is also a very interesting bad speech. An interesting thing we have to learn. There are people who hurt others. How can others hurt you? By using certain sensitive words. And then
You give meaning to the word.
giving meaning. Yes. Yes. So mostly swear words. Right? Swear words, harsh speech. Harsh speech. And then gossiping and idle. These are two things. Gossiping means how do you call gossipers in your language? How do you call a gossiper in your language? Huh? In your language? Huh? Do you have a word for that? You know there's a gossiper. How do you call him? Huh? Cane horse. K-pop, right? Not K-pop. 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 Okay, interesting. So, there are people who are just gossiping. Now, let's say someone is walking into a coffee shop early morning. He has no family in the house. She has no family. He or she is socializing in the coffee shop, having a tea or coffee. Is that considered as a gossiping? No, we need a little bit of socializing. We need that. But you should make sure that you are going to be a part of a non-virtuous conversation. Non-virtuous conversation. Right? That is important. Huh? We may have a lot of conversations, but this kind of conversation. Non-virtuous conversation. You should be very careful whether you are into a non-virtuous conversation in that kind of socializing. But socializing is necessary. You don't need to be introverts in your house. Right? We have to be extroverts because when we discuss things with others, we can know who we are, and that is necessary. That is why Buddha said, "Kalyana mittas are important." Right? Now today, if you happen to stay at home, and if you happen to come here, you learn something in person, right? This is a different vibe. Not like watching a dhamma talk on YouTube. Right? This is a different vibe. You get to see the Bhante, you get to see the surrounding. It's a different feeling. So socializing is important, but with understanding the boundary of the non-virtuous conversation. Gossiping. Why gossiping is not necessary? It can waste our time. We have a very short time. Even to practice what you are learning today, you have a short time. How many things you have in your household? Right? Your family members, a lot of things are going right all the time. Sometimes you make time for the Dhamma talk retreat, but you don't make time for your practice. Are you with that? Now you make time, okay, I'm going to go to Brahmavihara today, spend the weekend. You make time for that. But you are not able to make time for the practice in the same way. Why is it? Maybe you have other problems in your household, or you don't know how to make time, but it's more important to make time even for a tiny practice. That is how we are looking at the quality of your Dhamma journey. Otherwise, you come here, learn something, go back home, again you go to a retreat, learn something, go back home. What is the purpose of that? That is a futile practice. You waste your time. Whatever you learn here today, you should, if you go for a 2-day retreat, spend at least 7 days for that practice. 1 week for that 2-day practice. If you go for another retreat, take more time for the practice rather than learning. Right. And then idle chatting. How do we understand we are into idle chatting? Have you seen there are people who might say, now 10:50, maybe we have 10 more minutes, so let's talk about something else, any topic, right? They are into any non-virtuous conversation. So we are not like that. We are going to spend our time very wisely. This does not mean time to time maybe you may go for a holiday, you want to spoil yourself. That's a different area. You should do that too. Spoiling means not being spoiled with the non-virtuous thing. I mean, you need to take some time off, then to feel the nature, to be surrounded with your loved ones. It's okay. But the problem is you should know your boundaries of your life. So you are not going to do gossiping, idle chatting. Because they are not standalone practices, they are connected to our spiritual path. Suppose imagine there is someone who is talking a lot. How do you call them? A noisy person. Talking a lot.
Extrovert.
Huh?
Extrovert.
Not all extroverts can be like that. Maybe most. Someone who is very noisy, talk a lot of things. Sometimes you cannot understand what they are talking. When you talk a lot, you might most probably talk even lies, right? One of these. When people don't have things to talk, they might lie there. Yeah, because their vocabulary is going to be finished at that point. So then they add certain things. Either, this happened, really, what happened there? And they are going to bring all the explanations. So then the Buddha said we have to speak in moderation. The Buddha said this parable, Mitabani. Mitabani means someone, this is by applied sense, who speaks in moderation. Very interesting, huh? Mitabani. Mitabhani. Bhani means speaker. Mita means who speaks in moderation. Eat in moderation, speak in moderation. That's quite good. So we are going to fall into balance. Then we will talk about the mental stuff. What are the akusalas for the mind? Covetousness. What does covetousness mean? Don't get caught up with this English word. In Pali, what does covetousness? The Pali word is abhijja. Abhijja means ignorance. That's avijja. There are two. I would say there are two words. This is abhijja. Avijja. This is avijja. That one is avijja. Two words. Avijja means, now let me put it to the right context. Avijja means greed. One is going to be greedy for what one owns. Now you have your maybe money, wealth, you have loved ones, you have your vehicles, you have your real estate, your house. Then normally, if you don't have this understanding, the opposite of this, you are indirectly developing a certain greed towards what you have been possessing over the amount of many decades. So when you deal with these things, you have that greed. So we call it avijja. There is another akusala which is not here, but I will tell you that is in many other sutras. We call it visama. What is this? This is a distortion about the loba. Visama means there are some other people who are greedy about what other people have. Very interesting. What other people have, not what you have. They have avijja and visama at the same time. It's not given here. They are the people who are bad-mouthing us. We don't know who they are. Right? They are somewhere else, but they are bad-mouthing us. Why? They don't like what we have. Let's say you are a public figure, you are a famous figure. So then others have their own opinions about you. Right? Bottom line is that they don't like what you have. We are blessed to have different things in our life, right? Some people are more beautiful, some are not like that, some are blessed to have a good family, some are in good health, some are always in bad health. These are blessings in our life. Just because we have these things, we should never be greedy for what other people have. What we have to develop is mudita. Mudita means altruistic joy. Okay, covetousness. The first mental akusala. I think it was not clear, right? So I think I will write it maybe right here. That is visama loba. Visama means distortion. This loba is not distorted, normal loba. But this one is distorted. Why do you want to be greedy of what other people have? It's not ours. They are not ours. But some people even cross the boundary and then going to be greedy what other people have. Okay. We will come back to Anusaya fast. Ill will means what do you call? Vyapada. Vyapada means what is vyapada? Ill will. What is ill will? Ill will Pali context, Buddhist context. If we learn Buddhism from English, then we have to find English answers. We are using English to learn Pali Buddhism. That is the purpose. We are using English to learn Pali Buddhism, not that we are learning English Buddhism from English. Then we have different ideas, like suffering to dukkha. If you don't know this, I bet you must have killed many beings. If you don't know the meaning of ill will, you must have killed a lot of people. Not humans, probably. Now, may I ask why? This is a bad akusala. Now, may I ask why many people don't have access to these fundamental, basic, most important teachings? Why is it? It is because they learn English Buddhism from English. That's the problem. Let me tell you, ill will mean thoughts of destroying other beings which come before Panatipada. Now I want to kill someone, that thought is ill will. Vyapara. So must we know this concept then? We must know, otherwise we will kill a lot of beings. Now let me ask you a question. How many people have you killed in thoughts? In thoughts. So far. In thoughts, you haven't done it. In thoughts, I want to kill this person. But later on, you overcome that thought.
No. Zero.
Huh?
Zero.
Oh, see, you must be a very extraordinary being. Huh? Very interesting. Now, 2 days ago, I had a retreat at Sham University, and then I was asking about academic fears from the undergrads. There was one positive thing. I had no academic fear, so adamant, so sure about it. I mean, you don't have to embarrass yourself, if you don't. So, how many? Just go to yourself. Just dive into yourself, your own self. How many beings you have killed? People, especially when you have arguments in your household, when you don't like other people. How many beings you may have killed?
Many.
Huh?
Many.
Thank you for being honest. Now, because that is the point where you start learning dhamma. Now, when you accept the true self of you, that is the point where you start learning the dhamma. You are going to practice learning. Very important. We have a lot of people have killed a lot of things. Now, through the meditation retreats, through the dhamma practice, we must go to the level where we don't kill anybody even in a thought. That is the ideal state of our mind. That is the opposite of ill will. The Buddha gave an example to us. What is it? Arahant. Arahant, first quality of the Buddha. What is it? Arahant. What does arahant mean? Someone who has not killed another being even secretly. Secretly. Now there are people who kill them in thoughts. Buddha even didn't kill, even in secret ways. You have a question?
I mean, it's in the mind.
Yeah, mind. Yeah, it's mind. Secret. So you can measure the quality of your dhamma practice by understanding whether I kill other things even in a thought. If not, you have to go to a very high level, very good level. Otherwise, you can kill many beings in your thoughts. Just show other people, I'm not killing others. I don't touch the gun, I don't touch the knives and all that. That is the ideal state. Then the wrong way is micchadinti. That means you don't have 10 things. Maybe I can show you later before we start the Anusaya. There are 10 things. Maybe I can show you now. Then I think you will understand it better. What is wrong? It's not open, right? That is right. It went to Anusaya. Sleep mode. Anusaya means sleep. It is coming. Okay, there are 10 things, just to save the time. The first one is, there are 10 things where you create maturity. The first one is, you don't believe the effect of the dhamma. You don't like dhamma. I think all of you like dhamma, which you have it. Second thing is, you don't like large offerings. Why we have to give a lot of offerings to other people, to Sangha, other people? Even small offerings. You don't like giving small offerings. You don't understand what is good and what is bad, kusala and akusala. Okay. You don't take care of your mother, you don't take care of your father. Part of samadhi. If you don't take care of your mother and father, you have michanity. You may have a problem, you may have a rocky relationship with them, but it doesn't matter. It is your responsibility. There are some other people who have never taken care of them, but when they pass away, only they are thinking they have to transfer the gold. They are always in the temple. They couldn't do that. So we have to take care of them while they are alive. Most important. Make them happy. And feeling them happy also. Right? Sometimes we make other people happy, but they are not feeling happy about us. Has it happened to you? We are trying so hard to make them happy, but we don't understand how they want to be happy. Parents. Mother is a special person. If you think mother is not a special person, Michaditi. Father is a special person, not a special person, Michaditi. Believing life, samsara, yes, samsara if you don't take Nibbana. And believing in the simultaneous beings, that means there are beings who are reborn spontaneously. Who are they? Deva, Brahma, and the beings who are in the apayas, believing them. And then there are ascetics, wise monks, nuns who develop special powers through meditation, believing them. These 10 are making you into samadhi. If you don't have these 10, you are into vichara. Alright, depending on the time, now we are going to our topic. Alright. Is it okay if I delete, if I erase a couple of them here? Maybe from here should be okay. Yeah. Yes. So far okay. So far okay. I will let you know. Thank you though. Thank you for the offering. Now, how many akusalas are there? 10 akusalas. Huh? Yeah, I think I am not going to teach this again. 10 akusalas. Now, the Buddha said, these akusalas we are making, and he discussed about 3 stages of akusala. 3 stages. You can see the first stage. Anusaya. Anusaya is the first stage. That means the nature of these 10 akusalas work in 7 ways by sleeping. How to say that? Standby. They are always standby. You have seen things being stood by at different times. Trains are being stood by for operations. There are people who stand. So these akusalas, even you make or not, they are working as in 7 context, being dormant, they are working as dormant. It's like the chickenpox virus. You know, when you got chickenpox, what will happen to you? Tell me. A medicinal thing. Let's say you got chickenpox some time ago. Now you are recovering from the chicken. You are fully recovered. Medically speaking, they say the virus is not going away from your body 100%. So, under the spinal cord, being a hard shell, the virus is becoming dormant within you. That's why you have a certain immunity building up for chickenpox from other people again. But as you hit 50, after, you are becoming weak. Then your immunity is going down. Then what will happen? There is a chance of this virus, chickenpox virus, which is staying under the spinal cord, being dormant, to arise and giving you shingles. Shingles. That means this is dormant. Earlier you had chickenpox. Then after you fully recovered, it became dormant under the spinal cord. So in the same way, these akusalas, you might not, let's say you are so mindful, very compassionate, understanding what's happening. They are not happening, but they are still working at the Anusaya level, dormant level. They are sleeping. Because you have not become an enlightened person. They are still working as Anusaya level. Let's say you are making the move under certain conditions. Then it will become pariyutthana. Pariyutthana means arising. When different conditions come to you, they can arise. These 7 can arise. Right? It is like that you have a person you don't like. You don't see that person after a couple of months. One day you are going to see him or her on the road. He's bumping into you, she's bumping into you all of a sudden. Then all the past bad memories are arising. These Anusaya will turn to pariyutthana level. Right? They are rising. And then let's say you are such a generous person, you've been giving dana to the monks, then you go to a vacation, you go see a monk, and all the good things about the monks coming up. So, but this is not like Anusaya, that is the good side. Then pariyutthana. Third level, now what is happening after the rising? Vitikkama. Vitikkama means you are going to, as a result of the Anusaya are coming out, pariyutthana, you will break, you will act based on that. We call that stage vitikkama. So, akusalas, 10 akusalas have 3 stages. Anusaya level, sleeping level, pariyutthana level, when conditions arise, they can arise as well. Then they can be full-fledged. And then you are working out of these 7 dormant stages. Vitikkama. Vitikkama means you are creating the akusala as a consequence of arising. Okay? You can see here. Yeah. Kilesa is another term that we use to understand akusala. Akusala is the proper name. Kilesa is what you call taints or maybe pollutants. Yeah, it's like Buddha and Bhagava, same person. Bhagava is a term for the Buddha. Right. Now let's understand the 7 Anusayas. First one is Kamaraga. Let me ask you, do you have Kamaraga now? Kamaraga. Kamaraga means sensual lust, sensual desire. Do you have it now? Okay. No problem. How is now? Much better, right? Okay. Kamaraga. Where is our Kamaraga now? Huh? Do you have Kamaraga yet? Huh? Where is it? They are sleeping now. It is sleeping now. You want to wake it up? How is it going to wake up? Huh?
There's a wholesome and unwholesome side, right? Are we talking about Akusala as being the unwholesome of sensualness? So we're looking at that. So Anusaya, the dormant.
Anusaya is a stage.
Yes, but it has the wholesome and unwholesome, right?
Anusaya?
It's a, what do you call it? It promotes.
No, we are not by default kusala. By default, we are into akusala. Our raw thoughts are akusala. Only by effort, we are bringing these into kusala. When you become an enlightened person only, you are overcoming akusala by default. By default, you have panya. But now at the moment, you are unenlightened people, supposing, then your sleeping level only has akusala. Yeah.
So you're saying Anusaya is now
Exclusively akusala.
exclusively. Oh dear.
Yes. That's why we have to take it seriously. Yes. So, now I'm asking, only when you become an arahant, at least anagami, kamaraga is not coming to you by default. Kamaraga is gone at that point. So you have alubadu samana, panya. Your mental states by default are the panya states. But now we are unenlightened beings supposed at that point we have 7 kusalas working as dormant, as being dormant. So when the condition arising, then we have kamaraga. Can you give me a very good example for this? You have loved ones? Definitely you have loved ones. Do you feel a difference when you see a person you don't know, you don't like, and you know you are so much admired? There is a difference. So there is the kamaraga is getting the condition to arise. What about a good food? There's someone who is very much liking a certain food from a certain restaurant. But as long as that person sees other food, it's not kamaraga, is not arising. But when he or she sees that favorite food, then that will become the condition to sleeping kamaraga to arise. Mostly kamaraga is about the people. At the same time, sound, smell. What about a favorite song you have? You like a certain singer. But once you hear that particular song, then your kamaraga is going to arise. Song was the condition. So keep in mind, kamaraga is always dormant, depending on how the conditions come to you, and then how you're going to work with kamaraga at that. The second dormant, sleeping, or underlying akusala state is patiga. Patiga means, what is patiga? Patiga does not mean hatred, anger. Patiga is a very higher part word. Patiga means aversion, that means going to thoughts of killing somebody, thoughts of destroying other person. Normally, girl means killing, but if you say dosa, do you have dosa now? Can you think about the dosa? Annoyances. Are you a person who can be easily annoyed?
Yes.
Huh?
Angry.
It depends.
Hungry.
Hungry. When you are hungry for some time, too long, you may become angry. Right? Or you will go into a state of hatred. That means still it is somewhere. So people can go to patiga anytime. Right? Recently I had an experience flying from somewhere here actually. And the flight suddenly they didn't get AC. The aircraft didn't have AC. Actually, normally it doesn't happen, right? So everybody was so mad about it. The flight had to be on the tarmac for 1 hour because another flight got fire when it was landing in that airport. And then now the pilot is saying we have to wait until that aircraft is removed from the tarmac. People are shouting at the pilot that you should address our issue first, we don't worry about that flight. You know? They will take care of it, airport authorities. So they are very mad about it. No AC. It's ridiculously very sweating. So people are trying to swear at the cabin crew, and some of them stood up. They say we're going to open all the doors and we're going to jump onto the tarmac, otherwise we're going to die. Right? So people can go mad very fast. But suddenly somebody was saying that if you don't have AC, don't say that we're getting AC in the sky, in the air. They were saying that, don't worry, when we take off, AC will come. So the flight has a problem like that. When they take off, only the air conditioning works. And somebody was saying, this is not my first day to fly. If you don't have AC here, there will no AC in the sky. But after 1 hour and 20 minutes, AC started coming. So people were happy at that. So people can go mad anytime. Because anger is there. So we are the ones who should understand. We have to let anger sleep all the time. Then, Ditti Anusaya, tendency of views. That means our own views, wrong views, political views, religious views, cultural views. Right? So, they are also mostly sleepy. Sometimes there are people, when you are going to start a conversation, they become very serious about what they believe on. You better not talk to them. Sometimes there are people who are very extreme in their ideas. So talking to them is very difficult. Better not start conversations with them like that. So they are going to be very serious about what they do. So they have lots of dipti. We may have dipti, but we have put them to sleep. And then the fourth one is doubts. What are the doubts? Spiritual doubts. Right? There are people who have lots of doubts about Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, past life, future life. If you have a doubt, you must go and ask a suitable person. Don't keep the doubts. Why you are not supposed to keep the doubt? In case you die with the doubt, you are carrying the doubt to the next life. This is the problem. You must go and clarify with the suitable teacher, monk or who you place with. So, but the tendency to have the doubt still lying. If you have a doubt, you clarify. Other than that, doubts are already, working at a sleeping level. Then mana. Mana means conceit. Mana. Have you seen people who are always trying to embarrass them more? We are not into that level. They are trying to have inferiority complex. We are not rich like you, We are not famous like you. We are not wealthy like you, Right? So they are trying to embarrass you. And there are people who are always trying to show that they are superior to other people. When I go shopping, I never look at the price. Only when I go to the checkout, I see the price. I'm not worried about the price tags. I just buy. I just grab and then pay at the checkout counters. But there are people who know I have to look at the price tag first. And I have a budget life, I have a cut to the bone life. So I have to see how much is this item. Right? All these are type of conceits. So the opposite is be humble. You have to be very humble about everything. So then we don't have that. But still, even you are humble, conceit stays at the sleeping level. Don't let it go. Sixth one is Bhavara, the becoming. We might have an idea not to be reborn in samsara, but there are people who wants to be reborn in samsara a lot. There was somebody I know that was always asking Bhante, how to become a beater. I said, why are you asking about this? No, I want to know how to become a beater. I said, if you keep asking this, you will become a beater.
Convince yourself.
Yeah, convince yourself. Your last moment will come as a beater, and you will become the beater. Right? So that means they are indirectly developing the thought to be reborn as a beater, as an animal. But if you become an animal in the next life, do you have access to dhamma? Terrible. While we are respecting, being compassionate to animals, but we have to keep in mind, this human life is more precious. Right? In case we could not finish our dhamma journey, we need another human life. How do we make it? We have to make it. Other than that, if you are thinking, no, I don't want to actually become a sotapanna or whatever, I just want to take a chance and be reborn. That is a very dangerous samsaric journey. That idea is doomed in us, but how to work with this? Individuals. Finally, the seventh one is ignorance, avijja. What ignorance is this? Ignorant about the practice of the Four Noble Truths. Not about the Four Noble Truths, the practice, the actual self-practice of the Four Noble Truths. We know the Four Noble Truths. Dukkha Arya Satya, Dukkha Samuddaya Arya Satya, Dukkha Nirodha Arya Satya, Dukkha Nirodha Dhamini Arya Satya. But we don't know how do we personally understand this Four Noble Truths. What is dukkha to me? How has my dukkha arisen? How is the cessation to me? How I am going to work on the Noble Eightfold Path? We have to do a self-individualistic understanding and practice. But keep in mind, you might be better in that perspective, but still you have that sleeping level of avijja. You can anytime you can go back to you can default to the level of answers. Alright, we have a Q&A about this. Maybe we can take one or two questions now and go to the dhamma after that. And we will take the other questions if you know Q&A time. So save the questions, huh? Yes.
Bhante, just now you mentioned that by tendencies, Anusaya, that we are inclined towards Akusala by default. So only by effort.
Depending on our practice. We have a good news, that's why on the other side we are practicing. So depending on that practice, we can let them sleep all the time. But if you don't have a practice on the side, they will come again and go back, come again, go back.
So by effort, we will move towards the good side.
Good side.
Kusala, yes.
That one.
Yes.
Noble Eightfold Path.
Okay. Only by practice. But I think there's a sutta that mentioned that we have a luminous mind, pure mind. So what does that come to? Say that initially.
Anguttara Nikaya. Pavassara vidam bhikkave chittam tanchako adamtuke upakkhirisi.
So behind us there's actually a luminous mind.
No, that's the baby mind. That is not lasting for long. When you are reborn, when you are born in this life, when you are born, the baby mind is very pure. But as baby is growing up, baby has to go to the school. When baby is getting other siblings, baby is naturally developing a jealousy towards that other baby, sibling rivalry. So that mind is not lasting long. It is said that we are, by nature, we are having a good pure mind. Pure mind means we don't have sanya at that point working.
How does it work with the bodhicitta when you say we have?
Bodhicitta is by effort.
Oh, right.
It is by effort. That is a Mahayana teaching. It's by effort. They say you have bodhicitta, I have bodhicitta. So let's work together.
You have to have effort to have the bodhicitta out.
To arise. That is why on the side we are practicing these 8. So then we are letting them sleep all the time, like a drug. We are giving them the drug. What kind of drug is that? The doctors are giving, psychiatric doctors are giving to mentally sick people because they don't have enough, what you call neurochemicals. So they are cortisol, dopamine, they are not working properly. They are giving some, what are they called? Sedative? What's that?
Sedative.
Sedative drugs. Otherwise, they are going to work in a different dysfunctional way. So we have to give the dysfunction to these 7. How are we going to give them? By continuously, seamlessly practicing these things. And then the purpose is to become a Sotapanna or maybe Arahant. Then they are not working at the sleeping level anymore permanently. Permanently, then they are going to be stopped at the sleeping level. But till we get to that point, we have to put them to sleep.
But can't we say that our kusala is also sleeping and then we need effort to wake them up?
No, kusala is always a practice.
Always a practice.
Kusala is in our samsara consciousness. Let's say I done a lot of kusala in my past life. But those kusalas in the bhavanga consciousness, there are many consciousness types within us. Bhavanga. They are not going to arise until you have a condition. We don't say they are sleeping.
You don't have a tendency towards doing good.
You need conditions. But normally, we don't have kusala at the dormant level. Although you carry good kusala from past life, you have to bring them other conditions to waken them up. Now let me ask you, where is the Nibbana? Tell me. Where is your Nibbana? It is in you. Huh? It is not in the mind. They say the Four Noble Truths is within this body. 1 fathom long body. Nibbana is not in the temple, not in the Buddha statue. It is within you. So what we are doing is we are going to awaken that self, that awakened self, bodhicitta to arise. But it is not dormant. Akusalas are dormant. They are not dormant. We have to awaken them. They are not sleeping. I think what the Buddha says that kusalas are potentials and skills. You have to create them. You have to create your nibbana. But akusalas are already there. They are always sleeping. They are always becoming akusalas.
Bhante, does it mean it's like subconscious mind in English word?
About
The
kusala? Anusaya, it is also a psychological word.
Yeah.
What you call our consciousness carries these 7 anusayas. They are also in the consciousness, they are also in the subconsciousness. Yeah. They have spread out to all these aspects. Even some people are bringing anusayas even in sleep. There are people who are killing others in their sleep. What is that mind? So they are carrying those thoughts even to that level. So we are not worried about akusalas. Akusalas are always working in sleeping mood, in our dormant moods. But kusala, they are not working underlining. We have to bring them by effort with the practice. It is like a professor is telling the students, you can be smart, genius students. Then one student at the moment who is not that well studied might say, teacher, professor, how can I become so? I'm so stupid. I'm not studying well. No, you have the potential to become genius. If you work hard, if you know how to work, if you know how to study well, then you will become so. Nibbana and kusala are like that. They are not sleeping. We have to do an effort to bring them in this life. I think we'll take other questions after that. I think they have a particular time for dana here. So, may all the good karmas we've been making today in this discussion, morning part, we support you and do all of us to attain supreme bliss of sadhu. And our plan is now we are going for the dana in the morning time. after dhamma, you are having a rest until 1:30. You can do your walking meditation outside. You can just walk around the temple, get to know the temple. There are many places, right? And then 1:30, we are meeting early. 1:30. Yeah. So once again, I want to remind you about the reflection time. If you want to see me for any questions, so please give your name to Sister Susanna. She might be the Dhamma over here. Alright, so let's go to the Dhamma now. Thank you.